Hello, and hello everybody. Welcome to my latest video, the first video I've done in a while. Sorry that it's been so long. Lockdown's been a little bit of a emotional drain for me, but I am back with a new kind of video today. Today's not just some Battlegrounds gameplay. Today I'm actually going to be somewhat telling you guys how to play, because I'm going to be doing a patch analysis video with my thoughts on all the new minions, the new heroes, I guess new minion, not new minions, but like all the new stuff in the game. It's a pretty small patch, but still a lot to learn, especially with 3 new heroes in the game, which is what we are going to start with in this video. The newest new hero, because she's not being a re-released, she is brand new, Tess Greymane. Before we get into Tess, guys, I forgot to do this when I was recording the first time around, but stick around to the end. I've got a giveaway to run, so you're gonna want to watch the end of the video, guys. You're gonna want to watch it. Trust me. Use those big brains. Stick around to the end. Now, Tessa's hero power, in case you haven't read the patch notes yet, is a 1 cost called Bob's Burgles, stating, refresh Bob's Tavern with minions from your last opponent's warband. Now, to me, this sounds like an incredibly powerful hero power. Potentially, I think she could make it to be a tier 1 hero, replacing Hook Tusk, because we'll get into this later, but Hook Tusk has been massively nerfed. I think what's very interesting about Tessa's hero power is it will heavily relieve build competition in a meta, which is a bit of a single track mind meta with a lot of people going Murlocs. It could be quite easy for you to, in the late game, transition to Murlocs, as you can just steal those higher tier minions from your opponents. You might only be at 4 because you've leveled a bit slowly, which Tessa allows you to do, but you could still steal a Megasaur off of your last opponent's board, or Bran, or Primal Fin, everything you need to transition. You can just steal in a couple of turns, get a strong build going in the early game, and just be like, okay, everyone's got Murlocs, let me take that guy's Bran, that guy's Primal Fin, and that guy's Begurgle, and hey presto, you have a very strong transition, which I think is going to be her strong point. She can go whatever build everyone else is going in the game. Kind of like a stronger late game reform, but she won't have reform's early game strength. I think that is going to be her really difficult point. Using her hero power in the early game will be difficult, as players might not necessarily have strong cohesive builds yet, and you may want to look for, say, a deflector bot to get you through the early tiers when all of your opponents have alley cats and a hyena, but that's not quite good enough for you because you can't really do much with that being stolen. So I think your hero power is a lot more of a late game thing. You really have to think very critically about what you want to steal, what you don't want to steal. Use HS replay, look at your opponent's previous boards and see what you can do with that. I think she will be very strong, but very well thought out. The higher tier players are going to love her, lower tier players are going to have fun with her, but I think she'll be mid tier then, and I think she is overall a great addition to her game. I'm excited, I love her. The next new hero is King Mukler. Of course, the veterans have seen him before. I haven't. I only started playing Battlegrounds a few months after it came out, but I believe he has been quite heavily reworked with no more beast reliance. His new hero power is a 1 cost called Banana Rama, which gives you 2 bananas into your hand, and at the end of the turn throws 1 banana into all of your opponent's hands. Now, you mustn't be scared about giving your opponents bananas, because you do get twice as many, and you also get the initiative because they only get to play their banana in the next turn. I kind of think of him as a bit of a stronger, more reliable tempo Edwin. Does kind of upset me that they both exist in the same game, but I also do think that King Mukler is going to be a lot stronger than Edwin. I think he could synergize quite well with a mech build, throw all of your buffs on a deflector bot, grab a couple of refreshes, and you really have a killer build. I think he may be the way to get mechs to the end game rather than just through the mid game, but he could also just help you survive to a Murloc transition, because I swear to God, that's going to be the meta. I promise you, that's going to be the meta. But King Mukler, very strong potential tier 2. I like him, except they should have removed Edwin or made him do something different, because that is what is commonly known as, my friends, power creep. And I don't like that, but I do like King Mukler. Now, the third and final new hero, because he is also a reintroduced one, is Dino Tamer Bran. His hero power, like the others, is a 1 cost, this one called Battle Brand, and it is refresh Bob's Tavern with Battle Cry minions. I think this is a very interesting and fun sounding one, maybe not the strongest, but could do very well with Murlocs, giving it a high first and last placement. The reasoning for this is that most of the Battle Cries in the game are Murlocs, not all of them. There are 30 total battle cries, but with the high prevalence of Murlocs, you should have an easier time finding Cold Light Seers and Primal Fins and Begurgles and all those goodies. Just find yourself a Bran as well, not just a hero, you know what I'm saying, and you should have a really fun time with Murlocs. He could also be viable for other things as well, though, as battle cries are a lot more varied than just Murlocs. Caligos, of course, benefits massively from Battlecry minions, so if you can find one of those early, it could be very interesting to get a dragon build going with him. Demons have got their Battlecry. If you want to go big demons, Nephthisium Overseer should be easier to find, but you might also find a Vulgar Homunculus, which, you don't really want to take that much damage as a demon, so maybe chill on that guy, but that is an interesting build to consider with him as well. But another big one, which I think all the big brains out there who've been pushing Arana and Shadowwalk are gonna want to give a go, and that is Pogo Hoppers. Finding Battlecry minions, there are 9 at tier 2, with only 4 minions on the board, so it might be not as reliable as I'm thinking right now, but I think on average you should be able to find a Pogo every 2 turns. Basically, if you can find a Pogo on turn 3, I think it's probably worth giving a try. I think you could probably get upwards of 50-50 with a Pogo. It's not going to beat Divine Shield Poisonous Murlocs, but it will do everything else. And overall, because of these high RNG plays that I think Bran is capable of, I think he's only going to be a tier 3 hero, but not because he's bad, but because he's going to have a high loss and win rate, with very little in between. I don't think you're going to be looking for 4th places with him. I think you're going to be going in there saying, I'm going to come last, or I'm going to come first. Like Flurgle, or like any Murloc player, I think that is going to be the scenario, Hooktusk being the exception, but she's been nerfed now, so we're good there. Leading on to the nerfs, we have got the updated heroes though. First off, before the nerfs though, we have a buff, one I really wanted to see. Now, Arana, when she was first introduced, was a hero I really wanted to love, but before I even played her, and Mu can vouch for me on this, I knew she was going to be shit. 7 refreshes, by that point you're at tier 5, by that point there's 5 minions in the tavern already, you're only getting 2 new minions. It's really not good, but she has been buffed, now it's only 5 refreshes. 2 refreshes left, a whole 2. I don't think that's enough of a buff. I think it will take her up from the bottom of tier 4 easily, but I think it's only going to bring her to upper tier 3 to a point of playable. Going Pogos with her will be more fun than it was before. Going a regular build with her, you will have a stronger mid game. I think you can get her hero power out at tier 3. It is somewhat impactful there. It's still difficult for me to say you should play Arana, but I don't think she'll be the worst option offered to you anymore. I think she's worth picking occasionally. She probably needs a rework. I don't think any amount of buffing in there. She just starts with the hero power straight off the bat is going to do anything. If she did start with the hero power straight off the bat, that would be a little bit overpowered. I think it's more fine-tuning could work, but I think she might need a rework in the future. I really want to enjoy her. I really want her to be good, but she doesn't quite make the cut. So I'm sorry, guys. But moving on from that, let's go to the nerf. I mentioned it a few times in this video. Hooktusk, everyone's favorite tier 1. Or should I say tier 4? Because the nerf is huge. The hero power change doesn't sound massive. Before, it was remove a friendly minion, discover one from a tavern tier lower. It has been changed to get a random one from a tavern tier lower. So you don't get to choose between 3 anymore, you just get 1. And I have to say, that doesn't sound like a big change. 3, 1, it's difference of 2, it's the same as Arana. No, it's pretty huge. You don't get to choose your battle cry, your token, whatever you want that's going to get you a big build by turn 4. You can still get those high roll games, where you're going to get those low roll games as well, where every tier 1 you get is going to be a Mukler, every tier 2 is going to be a Pogo, every tier 3 is going to be some buff that doesn't synergize with you, and it's just gonna be a little bit of a mess and not enjoyable. Not having that choice, you will be surprised by how many useless minions there are in the pools that you didn't even remember existed. I played her last night, I can vouch for that. It's not pretty, guys. It's not pretty. Tier 1 to tier 4, she's dropped. I'm sorry, my Hooktusk mains. Hearts for you guys. You guys are struggling right now. From there, because there were only 2 reworked heroes, we have got the new minion. Now, I've seen a lot of hype about him on Reddit, so you probably have heard of him by now. Amalgadon is a tier 6, 6/6 amalgamation with the battle cry for every minion type you have on the board, adapt randomly. Now, at a glance, that might sound good. That's an easy Divine Shield Poisonous, no matter what build I'm going. Pay attention to the word random, and remember that there are adapts such as gain 3 health, gain 3 attack, gain +1 and +1 in stats. Also remember that when you choose Megasaur, Divine Shield doesn't stack. This is random. You can get 2 Divine Shields. You really don't want that. I think it might be a nice buff to certain builds. It can be handy in Pirates, but at tier 6, you're really not going to want to buy it. You're going to want to take it as a triple reward, and Overall, I think it's a little bit underwhelming. I think if they wanted to stay at 6, they need to make it so you choose the adaptations. Or I think it could be a very interesting tier 5 to replace Goldrun. I'm not really sure. It does, I guess, bloat up the tier 6 minion pool, makes the Mega Sword harder to find, but I don't think it does quite enough. I don't think it's going to see much play unless you get those big high rolls. It's going to be that tier 6 minion that you take because, oh, this could be interesting. Then you get +1/+1 twice and you're just like, okay, I guess I'm selling that. So yeah, that gets a nice fat thumbs down from me. I really love the idea of seeing an amalgamation back in the game, but not at tier 6. I don't think it cuts it. Going from there, I think we have what I would consider, personally, because I love beasts, the biggest change to the game right now. And I gotta say, it pisses me off. They changed Goldrun from a tier 5 to a tier 6. Honestly, I know people give Blizzard's balance team a lot of trouble all the time because they did this wrong, they did that wrong, and it was so obvious, and why? And normally I disagree, but gotta side with you, Reddit. Why? Goldrun has never been a problem. Even with the prevalence of macaw beasts at the moment in the meta, I am guilty as charged, I play them a lot. Goldrun wasn't the core minion. That build was viable with a spawn of Zoth as long as you got it golden. The problem was macaw, and I think they should have nerfed that. It's just gonna decimate beasts not having Goldrun. Whether you have a macaw or not, just beasts are gonna disappear. You've got 3 tier 6 beasts now. It's gonna be hard to find all 3 of them. They're all 3 kind of needed for the build, and I think this puts beasts in a lot of pain. I think this gets rid of a tier 1 build and leaves more room for murlocs. I think it's a bit problematic. I also think it's problematic that they decided to nerf beasts when everyone knows the big problem with the game is murlocs, and yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Should have nerfed Macaw. Blizzard, nerf Macaw with the next patch and bring my boy Goldrun back. I like him. I like him a lot. He's not the problem with beasts. Give him a break. Come on, Blizzard. My final thoughts on this new patch are a little bit complicated. I think the new heroes, excepting for Mukler, seem fun. I don't like that power creep happening on Edwin there. Amalgam, I find a little bit lackluster. I don't think it's what the game needed. I think the hero pools are also a bit bloated now. I would have liked to see Arana and Hooktusk maybe removed for a rework. Would have liked to see more redundant heroes like Malagos perhaps removed from the game. That would have been nice. Also the Goldrun nerf, a little bit lackluster. I think the only exciting things are the 2 new heroes, and I really hope to see a bigger patch with the new expansion. They do normally seem to do quite big patches with the new expansion, so I think we can look forward to that, but for now, I think this patch is going to perpetuate and slightly spice up a very stale meta, but it is still the current very stale, slow Murloc meta that we've had for the last few weeks. I hope to be proved wrong, and you will still see me in the Battlegrounds Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on twitch.tv/JackDondy, but I don't think this patch is what the game needed, and I really hope that they're going to do something more interesting soon. I also really hope that my gameplay experiences are going to prove me wrong, but so far in the 3 games I've played in this new patch, that hasn't been the case, but we'll find out soon. Now, for those of you who have stuck around for this long, I am kind of sorry that I didn't cover Scholarman's Academy. Didn't really get around to it, but also I didn't really think I was in a place to talk about it. While I am relatively high rated in the Battlegrounds, I am just a measly little silver and constructed. I don't play it that much. I will probably play some more with the new expansion. I always do. I also have a pack opening for you guys, but Battlegrounds is and will probably always be my home. But if you do play constructed, I do have a nice little giveaway to give you guys that is being announced in this video. If you would like to win 2 pre-purchase bundles, I have 2 to give away. So you're in exactly the right place. There will be a link down in the description below to a giveaway entry thing, probably through Gleam. There's a new platform I've heard about though, that I might give a try. I don't know. But head to that link down below. Interesting giveaway coming. 2 pre-purchase bundles. If you want that, get it. It's not the big one, it's the little one. I'm sorry. It's what I've got. Pockets are empty. Sorry guys. That's all I got. But enter that down below. Be sure to get those entries in. And I'll see you guys on my stream soon. So thanks for watching. And what she said, and also have a great day.